Beneath the Pacific Ocean lies a depth so extreme that sunlight cannot follow. As pressure rises and distance erases familiar reference, movement slows, sound fades, and survival takes on a different meaning. This descent is not a journey of discovery, but of observation into the quiet boundary where light ends and the deep continues without us. The journey begins far above the deepest place on Earth, where the ocean still appears familiar. Light moves freely here, water feels open, and life behaves as it does across most of the planet. Yet even at this early stage, subtle changes are already underway. Color begins to thin, motion becomes more deliberate, and the surface world slowly loses its influence. This descent is not marked by drama, but by subtraction. Less light, less warmth, fewer reference points. As the camera moves downward, the ocean transitions from a living space shaped by the sun into a realm governed by pressure and distance. The trench does not announce itself. It waits, unseen, as the last traces of the surface fade from view. The walls of the Mariana Trench rise like a geological boundary, separating the known ocean from what lies beyond routine exploration. Here, the environment becomes vertical, fractured, and increasingly hostile to movement. Sediment clings to steep surfaces, organic matter drifts downward without destination, and life appears sparse but highly specialized. Bioluminescent organisms flicker briefly, not to illuminate, but to signal existence in darkness. These outer regions are not the deepest point, yet they already reflect the rules of the abyss. Energy is conserved, motion is restrained, and nothing happens quickly. The trench begins to feel less like a place and more like a condition, one defined by gravity, time, and silence.
In the extreme environment of the Mariana Trench, we catch a rare glimpse of a massive cephalopod moving silently through the abyssal zone.
The abyssal zone of the Mariana Trench. Here, this organism exhibits the slow, methodical movements required to survive under immense pressure.
Deep within the Mariana Trench, this gulper eel drifts through the crushing darkness, a solitary beacon in the void.
As the descent continues, the trench opens fully beneath the camera. Light no longer spreads, it retreats. Pressure dominates every form, shaping biology into slow, deliberate systems built to endure rather than to move. Strange silhouettes pass through the darkness, gelatinous bodies, elongated forms, organisms that glow briefly before disappearing again. The seabed becomes visible only in fragments, softened by thick sediment and extreme compression. Movement here is not expressive, it is functional. Life persists, but without urgency or excess. This is the zone where familiar ideas of behavior no longer apply, and survival is measured not in speed or strength, but in efficiency and restraint. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the environment reaches a state of near total stillness. The seafloor lies flat and undisturbed, covered by sediment that has accumulated over thousands of years. There are no signs of intrusion, no evidence of human presence. Life exists, but barely announces itself. Small organisms cling to the surface, fish rest motionless, and bioluminescence appears only as a faint, continuous signal. Light does not reflect here. Shadows do not form. Nothing reacts. This is not an empty place, but a stable one, where everything exists only to maintain itself. Time moves differently at this depth, measured not by events, but by persistence.
At extreme abyssal depths, where sunlight cannot penetrate, the Actinifera aurelia generates its own faint blue-green light.
At this extreme depth, the localized lighting reveals a surprisingly textured landscape.
The ascent begins without resolution. As the camera slowly rises, the trench does not release its grip or reveal new clarity. Light does not return. Life becomes rarer, then absent. The environment remains dark, vast, and unchanged by observation. There is no sense of departure, only increasing distance. The Mariana Trench does not conclude or explain itself. It simply remains. Even as the camera moves away, the darkness continues below, uninterrupted and complete. This final passage offers no message and no closure. It affirms only one fact. The deepest place on Earth exists beyond human presence, governed by conditions that do not respond to being seen.